let me throw up a disclaimer real quick, because if you electrocute and kill yourself, I'm not responsible, pimps. So we got ourselves a Nintendo power adapter there. It's pretty easy. We're off, we're on, right? Nothing here. You wiggle that, nothing. But you wiggle it at the base here, and you'll see it goes on. And as you wiggle, it turns off. This is pretty simple as far as a repair. So let's go ahead and fucking get into it. Why not? So the first thing that we need to do is we need to take a look at this this screw hole here. This is a very non-standard type of screw. I don't know what this bit is called. The marking on here states nothing. It says Vega 10. I don't know. I'll put a link in the description. You can get these on Amazon for like a pack of, I don't remember what it was, like 5 or 10 or something like that, for like 5 or 10 bucks, some junk like that. But the thing to remember with these is the screw, it's like, you know what, let's just take it out and I'll show you. But it's kind of hard to get out, and it's very easy to break these tips. So what I would recommend is try to find, and there's a lot of dirt and gunk in there, so I can't even see what the orientation is. We'll turn it in the opposite direction. Oh, is it coming out? I was gonna say tighten. It seems like it's already loose. That's good. And look at all that shit come out of there. Ugh. All right, usually this is a little harder. It's not very easy to get out sometimes. So let's wipe off all that gunk and look at the shape of that screw. It's a very bizarre shape. So I'm sure there's other hack ways to get it without one of these bits, but I wouldn't recommend it. Yeah, this one is actually incredibly simple. It's working with me for once. Normally, I do a video and I get the worst of them. All right, so this is actually really simple to do. Let's zoom out just ever so slightly. So, and let me throw up a disclaimer real quick, because if you electrocute and kill yourself, I'm not responsible, pimps. All right, be careful when you're doing this stuff. If you're not comfortable working around power adapters and fixing power adapters, don't do it. But I've done this a number of times, so I'm good. And if I happen to electrocute myself, to be honest with you, I wouldn't be all that upset. It's fine. Anyway, so what I have noticed, I'm gonna just ramble on a little bit. So this capacitor on a lot of the Genesis models, this thing is actually ripe for the replacing. I've seen quite a few of these in the Genesis adapters that need replacement. So leaky, just awful. Be aware of that. Anyway, Nintendo one's not so much. But what we're gonna do, since our issue is in this area, we're gonna try to slip this down, this little stop thing here, stress relief, that's what it's called, right? We'll try to pull that down and then strip some of the wire and resolder it to those points there. So first thing to do, let's see if we can actually pull it down, if that actually agrees with me today. Usually it does not, and that's kind of a pain in the ass to do. Let's see. I'm gonna grab myself a pair of pliers and see if that'll actually just pull down on its own. I doubt it. Without ripping, I doubt it. It usually doesn't. And that should be the case, I think, here as well. No. Okay. So here's what we need to remember. So we've got our insulated wire here, our colored wire, which I believe is a positive, and our non-insulated, you'll see a little wrap here just for protection. That is our ground, or our negative. So what we're gonna have to do, we're gonna have to cut this here, or anywhere, whatever makes you comfortable, wherever you want to cut it. And actually, I think we're gonna have to cut it here. Let's be safe and just go down a little bit further. So we'll have to hold that with a pair of pliers and then just try to pull it out as best as we can, if we can. If not, there's other means of doing this. Another way to do this, we're gonna turn on our hot air. We're gonna put it at, let's say, 170. And we're gonna warm this up to make it nice and soft. Just a little stress relief here, or strain relief. And then nice and pliable. And then we'll be able to fucking just pull it right off. Yeah, it's kind of gummy feeling right now. So let's see if we can't get that off now. This thing is gonna make a liar out of me. Well, that came off. That came completely out. So this is the thing that usually happens with these. Okay, you pull those out, and this is gonna be super, super tight. So some people may disagree with me here on this strategy, but I like to use a drill bit. I don't know what size this is, but this is just big enough, I think, to make it work for what I need it to work for. So I'll take my drill bit, and I'm just gonna drill that hole. You probably don't want to use your hands to hold it like I am. And that drill bit is in there crooked. That's not gonna help me. Let's try that again. We'll take our drill bit, we'll slide it in there as far as it'll go, and just turn it ever so slightly. You don't want to use too much pressure because you don't want it to like shred to pieces, but you definitely want it to go on there. Probably helps if you don't wear gloves that are gonna like give way and wrap around it. But you want to open that hole up as much as you can. So one way, the opposite way. One way, opposite way. So all that extra material in there, you want to get all that stuff out. Again, maybe you don't want to use your hands to do that. You want to use something to hold it, but all this extra crap that was in there, blocking up that hole, you want to get that out. So you should be able to see through it now. Be able to slip that on, hopefully fairly easily. There we go. That's what we want. Let's turn off that air. Turn on the soldering iron. And then you know what? I'm going to clip just for safety. I'm going to clip a little bit more of that off just to make sure I'm getting the best part of this. All right, we're going to get our stripper, our wire stripper here. We're going to strip a large portion off first. Let's see. We need about that much to come off. So then we have our red part, our insulated part, and our non-insulated part. And we're just going to twist that up. And what I like to do, twist it on up enough to get it together so it's not like separated and all over the place. Put a little flux on there, and then we'll heat that up and make that a nice solid piece. So we'll heat up the flux, get that nice and wet, get our solder. Works better if you use helping hands, but again, I'm always lazy. Too lazy to do it the easy way. That's what I like to say. All right, we're going to clip some of that anyway, so I'm not overly concerned about the length on there. And then we'll strip that one ever so slightly. so we can get it through the hole in the PCB, the little board here. We'll do the same thing. Twist that up just a little bit, put a little flux on there. Grab our iron, put a little solder on there, and we'll make that nice and solid. Easy peasy, baby. All right, so take note as we're looking at it. The side closest to the cap is the side that has the insulation on there. We'll heat that up, pull that out. The other side is the hole right next to it. You'll see a couple holes in there. Make sure you get the right one. So we'll pull that out, get rid of that. Get our braid and open up those holes. Everybody likes a nice open hole, right? There we go. That looks good. Open this one up. I think it's important to do videos like this because I don't think a whole lot of people like to save the power adapters. They're usually not really that difficult to fix. So again, our insulated side goes closest to the cap. We'll put that through the hole there. Unless that's too big. No, we're good. All right, so we'll bend that down, keep that in place. Get a little solder on there. Just do that for the time being. We'll make a better joint in a few. And actually, where is that other piece? The original piece. I didn't throw that away, right? I wouldn't do that. I think I just tossed it aside somewhere. This is what we want. This little piece of protection. We'll go ahead and throw that on there too, just to keep it original, I guess. You don't really need it, really, but it helps to make sure it doesn't short against anything else. And then we will clip that shorter once we get it through and get it soldered in. We'll clip the excess. So that goes on there like that. And we're almost done already. So we'll solder that in. Be sure not to touch that part of the wire. Clip off our excess momentarily. Make sure we get it all in there. Make sure we got a nice solid joint. Pull on that just ever so slightly. We'll clip off our excess here. And here. And that cap, just make sure that looks pretty good. Don't see any issues with that there. And then all we got to do is slip that right back in. All right, so we got to wrap this around here while getting that relief lined up properly, which we've done. So that should be good. I'm not gonna tie it up just yet, or I'm not gonna screw it in just yet. I'm obviously gonna make sure that it works. We'll pop this in here, and I'm just gonna put a piece of tape on there for the time being, just to keep it closed up and make sure I don't accidentally open it. Put a couple pieces of tape on there. So we'll grab our Super Nintendo / Super Famicom. We'll plug this in to the power, to the wall. Move all this crap aside. Let's zoom out just a little so you can actually see what I'm doing. I'm popping that in there. And then take a look here. We got our shit plugged in. Well, that was already. So it turns on just fine, right? I'm wiggling the cord at this end, and we got no flashing light. So that is a successful repair. All right, so I'm going to stress that this is something that took me a while to work up to. As a complete amateur, I was very scared of electrocuting myself, to be honest with you. Fine working on consoles and working on carts and stuff, but when it came to actually doing power supplies, I was very nervous about possibly screwing something up to the point that I would like burn the house down or something. But it's just like anything else. I mean, take care in what you do. If it seems a little shoddy or if it's kind of iffy, just throw it away. But this is something that anybody can do without killing yourself and without burning the house down. Just got to be careful while you're doing it. So hopefully this certainly will help somebody, I believe. There's tons of these power supplies out there, and people just throw them away when they're loose like that, which is quite honestly a shame, because these other, third-party power bricks from like Retrobit or whatever, they're garbage. I think you have a better chance of burning your house down using that than using this. And I was lucky enough to be in Japan and hit up all the hard offs, and this is probably better to do without using the power feature just screwed in manually. Anyway, this is another difficult part. You kind of gotta screw it in enough to get inside the little round part there so that it doesn't just flop all over the place. Anyway, being at the hard offs out there, these things littered the junk bins for like $3 a piece most of the time, sometimes less. I tried to pick them up whenever they were $1, but I did often pay like $3 for them, knowing that, it's something I could fix somewhere down the line. And I'm finally getting around to doing some of these here and there. Anyway, guess I'm rambling a little bit. This is going to be my repair video for this week. And again, hopefully this actually helps somebody, because that's what it's all about. If you like the video, I certainly don't do any sort of self-promotion, but why don't you go and give it a thumbs up and a subscribe? Why not? I don't have Twitter or any other crap, so don't worry about doing that. But leave a comment. How's that? Just leave a comment, and then if it helps you, let me know. Appreciate you guys watching. Have a great one. Take care.